Halton News. I'm Melissa Candelaria, filling in for Jessica Kading. As always, we want to start things off with a look at our numbers. A little bit of a jump today in cases with 794 active region-wide, but we will break it down for you by municipality. Milton still with the highest cases, sitting at 336 and 3 hospitalizations. Oakville with 273 cases, 12 hospitalizations and 25 reported deaths. Halton Hills at 61 cases, 14 reported deaths, but no hospitalizations. Lastly, in Burlington, we've got 160 active cases, 20 hospitalizations, and 18 deaths. Well, there have been rumors, speaking of COVID cases, circulating that Halton may be heading into full lockdown because of our increased numbers, or what the province calls a gray zone of the COVID-19 framework coming Monday. Well, I reached out to Burlington Mayor Marianne Mead Ward earlier this afternoon to ask her if there is any truth to the rumor.
We had heard that that might be a possibility, but moments ago we just got the announcement by press release from the provincial government that we are not being moved into lockdown. That is good news for our community. And I know our businesses, our employees, the families that rely on that income, and folks that need to get out and get those services will be relieved. We're hovering around those numbers that keep us in the red zone, and we have to continue to be vigilant. I will say, though, we're nowhere near in terms of our numbers what some of the lockdown regions are. And I've always advocated that we need to stay open with restrictions. When we look at Peel and the numbers have continued to go up, even though they're under lockdown. And that's because, you close restaurants, you close some of those facilities. People have taken their activities indoors, which is not monitored. They're having house parties, and that is the source of some of the spread in those regions. And certainly in Halton, people ask me, what is the source of spread? We had a briefing a week ago from our medical officer of health, and a lot of it is unknown. And that means it's most likely community spread and close community contact. So the simplest message I can give to residents as we head into the holiday season is please stay within your own household. Do not visit family across town. Do not hang out with your friends over the holiday season. That's putting your own health and their health at risk. And I know that's a tough message on top of a tough year, but we need to do that. So simplest thing to remember is assume everybody has COVID and conduct yourself accordingly.
Assume everyone has COVID. That is some great advice there, Mayor. Now, while I had her on the call, I also wanted to get her comment on a joint statement from the Halton Regional Chair and Halton Mayors regarding the proposed CN logistics hubs in Milton. Just to remind you that the federal government was supposed to make a decision back on September 23rd on whether or not to allow the CN Rail to build this hub. Here's what Mayor Mead Ward had to say about that statement.
We thought it was important to remind the government as they continue to deliberate on this file where we stand. We are united as the 4 Halton mayors and regional chair. We're united with our 3, actually more than 3 MPPs for Burlington, but all of the members of Parliament, federal Parliament here in Halton Region are united in standing with us. This will have adverse impacts on public health and safety, and it needs to be stopped. So we didn't want them to forget about that message, so we thought it was really important. We expect that a decision could come really any time, and we wanted to make sure that we reminded them where we stand.
So concerns listed in this statement include not having a way to mitigate the significant health effects that CN would cause by the project, and that the local neighborhood has grown to a community of approximately 34,000 current and future residents. 1 hospital, 12 schools, and 2 long-term care homes within 1 kilometer of the proposed site, and still greater populations beyond that 1 kilometer mark. Back in September, the federal government, as I mentioned, postponed making that decision, extending the process another 90 days. And as the mayor had said, a decision could be made as soon as December 22nd. So COVID-19, of course, has, been the cause of much need in the community, and especially as we go into the holiday season, even more so with many food banks right across Halton. Joining me right now is Ruth Hickman with the Salvation Army Kai community, here to talk about the need in Milton. Thanks for joining us, Ruth.
My pleasure. Thank you so much for having us.
No problem. We started talking, you and I, off air last week with the Miracle of Milton launch, Main Street launch, I should say. And I wanted to talk to you a little bit more about that here, about the need that the Chi community has. You service many people in Milton. Talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, so the need in Milton has been rising steadily over the last decade. And last year, for the last couple of Christmases, we've served about 350, 375 households. This year, we're on track to serve 550, which is a big increase. Obviously, due to COVID, a lot of our folks have lost work and are just in need of that extra boost.
So talk about why that is. I know you've spoken to many of the residents that are coming in to utilize your services. Can you share some of the reasons why you're seeing this increase and they're coming to you for help?
Yeah, I think a lot of people, a lot of the families that we serve are single parents, and whether they've lost work or they've had to stay home because of their kids being home from school, a variety of reasons over the last few months. All connected to COVID. Some families have been hit by the disease itself and have had to lose wages because of that. And also a lot of families that have suffered job loss because of the pandemic, being laid off or just not being able to get as many hours as they normally get.
The launch of Miracle on Main Street earlier in the week was a huge relief, I guess, for yourself and your organization, right?
We're really thankful for that partnership, for sure. They do a great job of collecting toys in the neighborhood here and give us the opportunity to pass those toys on to families. So we're grateful for that, for sure, as well as for the relationship we have with so many organizations and businesses here that just really want to help their neighbors in need. And we're just so grateful for all of those donations and partnerships.
So one thing that we did touch on as well in our conversation is, you see this increase in need, but you also don't want to leave anybody out. So talk about what your end of year is going to look like. Your bottom line is not going to look as it used to in years past, right?
Yeah, so typically right now we would be right in the middle of our biggest fundraiser of the year, our kettle campaign, those bubbles that you find at the grocery store. Because we're red zone, we're not able to have those bubbles out this year. We have some modified fundraising that we're doing. Just today, we've put out tap machines at the grocery store locations. So you'll find a $5 tap machine. You can tap your card there. That will help for sure. We're anticipating that we won't get the funds that we normally get at this time of year. And we are serving quite a few more families. So we are definitely in need of that extra support. If you're able to give a little extra, we will make sure that that gets to good use in the community.
Great. And how can they do that?
So those tap machines at the grocery store are great for $5 donations. If you'd like to give online, you can do that at chicommunity.com and click the donate tab there. And donations through that website will come directly here. You can also come in with a check or a cash donation or mail it through Canada Post to our unit here in Milton.
Perfect. And one last question before I let you go. Are we going to see more of your singing on social media? It was great.
Oh, we just posted one today, a fun Merry Christmas video from all of our staff and volunteers.
Good. I can't wait for that. I'll definitely share that on our social media channels. Thank you so much, Ruth, for taking the time to speak with me today. I really appreciate it.
My pleasure. Stay safe and God bless you.
You too. It's been rocking the street of Willow Avenue for about a decade, and it's back again this year to raise funds for the Milton District Hospital Foundation and to bring a little cheer to your holiday. It's back.
I wish it was Christmas, Christmas every day,
The magical lights of Milton.
forever, and live on holiday.
Here at 876 Willow Avenue, about 30,000 lights blink in sync with the musical soundtrack, all for the Milton District Hospital Foundation. And the man behind the magic, David Giel, who has put on this show for the past 10 years. Giel says it's really important for him and his family to support local.
School is out, no work today. So in my PJs, I will stay.
Everyone does fundraising for the big charities, and I'm a frontline paramedic. I also want to make sure that we support the local hospitals also. So from day one, we've been raising money for our local hospital. I think people need some holiday cheer during the season.
Although nothing has changed with the light show itself, Giel says they had made some changes on how you can donate.
We have set up an e-transfer email, which is magicallightsofmilton@gmail.com. For those that want to do cash still, it is available. Right by our FM sign on the curb, we have a white donation box, and you just leave the money in there. Every single penny that goes in that box or by e-transfer goes to the hospital. We don't keep any of it ourselves. We want to show you one little gadget that we have. Help you be able to see that. We have an interactive bracelet that we have for people. I'll see if you can see it there or not. So what this does is people, if they make a $10 donation, they can come up to our door up to 9 o'clock at night. Please wear a mask. Knock on our door, make a $10 donation, and you get a bracelet.
To date, Giel has raised over $60,000 for the Milton District Hospital Foundation, and the hope is to raise $10,000 more this year. Giel says it brings him joy to not only help raise funds, but to also pass on that joy to others.
I've heard it so many times now that it is a family tradition for so many families in our community, and they look forward to it. A lot of people were worried because of COVID we weren't able to do it, but we spoke to town officials, regional officials, and got the green light to go ahead and do the show. So I think with everything else being canceled this year, it's important that we can still do this for them. We see it all the time, and people are surprised how they didn't realize that, oh my God, it's your house. I've known you for how many years, didn't realize it was your house. So it's an honor to be part of their tradition, and we hope to keep it going for as long as we can.
So if you haven't stopped by 876 Willow Avenue yet, you still can make it part of your tradition. Magical Lights of Milton will run until January 3rd. For more details, go to magicallightsofmilton.com or find them on Facebook. And with that, we're going to take a short break right here. More local news after this. Welcome back to Halton News. After a successful food drive early in the summer, the Gift of Giving Back is changing the way they collect food for the holiday season. Nikki Wesley reports.
The Gift of Giving Back was founded in 2005 as a way for young athletes to help raise food donations for other children in the community who are food insecure. With the pandemic, they've successfully evolved to continue this wonderful work.
The Burlington Center has been so kind and generous to us. They've been longtime partners of ours, and they offered us this space to see, to gather food for our community.
In a normal year, there would have been a huge event in November.
Each year, in one of our high schools, we normally have a very large drive. In fact, we normally fill their 3 gymnasiums up with food.
The motto of the 15-year-old food drive is Help Kids Feed Kids. It was their founding principle.
Very important for the kids to actually do the work because they come to understand that there is another side to our community. They come to understand that there are other kids that need things. And they also come to know the agencies that serve those people each and every day.
Agencies like Halton Women's Place, the Burlington Food Bank, the Salvation Army, Food for Life, the Compassion Society, and Carpenter Hospice.
Today we were fortunate to give our beneficiaries $51,000 Earlier in May, we also gave our beneficiaries $81,000, bringing our grand total to $135,000 this year alone, which is, I think we've accomplished quite a feat in this year of COVID.
If you want to donate food to the food drive but don't have a local athlete coming to your door, you can take your donation directly to the storefront. Reporting for Halton News, I'm Nikki Wesley.
And speaking of giving back, a local dance studio is hoping to do just that in their first annual toy drive. We have Ashley, Stephen, and Tom standing by via Zoom at Goddard Studio for Dance and of the Performing Arts in Milton. Particularly, it's practically next door to our studio in Milton on Brown Ridge Road in Halton Hills to tell us all about it. Hello.
My name is Ashley. I am, as well as my husband Stephen, owner of Goddard Studio here. We are a dance and performing arts studio, and we've been open just over a year now, which is amazing. Well, it's been a crazy year, but we decided that for Christmas we wanted to do something to give back to the community and surrounding areas, and we thought of this idea for a toy drive, and we just wanted to put a smile on people's faces, because this year that's the biggest gift that anyone could really get, I think.
Yeah. Well, when we were going back and forth, of course, trying to keep everything light and upbeat, we just wanted to do something again to put smiles on people's faces, something that we can all get together, something that we can all do socially distanced as well, and it was a toy drive. It just made sense. Purchase a toy, you drop it off. I mean, there's although that human connection would be incredible to have, but it was also the safest way as well. And we just wanted to bring a smile to a kid's face. And so my wife, Ashley, she came up with this concept. Let's do a toy drive. And I said, okay, well, how do we, where do we start? And so we put our heads together, and then we immediately thought of Tom here, Tom McPhail, and from the Royal LePage, Meadowtown, and because of the amount of work that Tom does as a local philanthropist, and it just made sense. It just completely made sense.
It really did. So Tom got a phone call from us, and we basically asked him to help us, or more so, could we assist him in doing this toy drive with us? But really, he's been amazing, absolutely amazing.
No, you guys have been amazing. They asked me, and they're great people, run a great business, and happy to jump on board, help you guys out, working as a team to try and bring some smiles to North Halton community living.
Yes.
And make Christmas for everybody, especially this time of year.
And that is a sad sight. Boats on the dock at 16 Mile Lake, ready to go to bed for the summer season. Here is a look at your forecast. We have some clouds expected tomorrow with the high of 0 degrees. Sunshine for Sunday, although cooler at -1. Monday, a mix of sun and cloud at a high of +1. Same forecast for Tuesday at 3 degrees though, and Wednesday cloudy at 1 at a high of 4 degrees. And here's a look at your local stocks. Thanks for sticking with us on Halton News. We'll be right back after this. Welcome Welcome back to Halton News. Oakville Fire has been working hard to keep fire safety front of mind as we head into the winter months. They've launched a new initiative that will be playing right here on your TV, but we thought you'd enjoy a sneak peek. Let's take a look.
As the winter season fast approaches, the risks of fires increase. Vigilance around home fire safety is critical. Holiday cooking, candle use, and electric lighting decorations all contribute to an upturn in fires. Combine these with an increased use of home heating equipment, and these account for more fires in November through March. It's why it's so important for us to continue to find new ways to raise awareness. With that in mind, let's check to see how my partner in public education is making out. Because of the pandemic, this year, Sparky has struggled to find safe ways to engage residents. So to increase awareness around fire safety and prevention, Sparky has resorted to some less conventional ways to pass along fire safety messages. Enthusiasm has always been Sparky's strong point. Getting through the winter months during a pandemic will be trying. Don't let your guard down. Please, stay safe. In the same way, fire safety begins with you. Think prevention and be prepared in the event of a fire emergency. This is the best way to protect yourself and those around you.
Yeah, buddy.
Thanks for watching Halton News. Now, before I leave you today, I want to leave you with an event that you can be a part of. The COVID-19 pandemic has had tremendous impact on local, nationals, and global economies. It is anticipated that in Burlington alone, just under 2,000 businesses and 29,000 jobs may be directly affected, leaving the future state of Burlington's economy uncertain. The Burlington Chamber of Commerce would like to invite you to one of their most popular and informative events of the year. And that is all we have time for Halton News. For more information on our program, you can always go to our website, yourtv.tv. You can actually connect with us on social media as well through Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. From everyone here at Your TV, thanks for watching and have a good weekend.